How are you?
I'm good. Maybe I should turn this light off. It looks really bright.
No, it looks good.
We'll see.
Oh, Janelle, how are you?
Yeah, hi. It's been a while.
Hello.
Hi.
Allison,
Nice to meet
Janelle.
you.
Nice to meet you.
Glad you made it. We're just kind of hanging out, waiting for a few more people to show up before we start.
Cool.
Allison, Janelle is a foodie, video personality.
Right on.
What about Allison?
I do marketing stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
For like what space?
Entrepreneur, small business, businesses. That type of thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. My background's in product marketing for mobile apps. So that's where I started before I decided to go full time with YouTube.
Nice.
That's right. And are you still doing some videography, like marketing? Or no, you
I
pulled out of
stopped
that?
Yeah, I stopped it just because I think if I wanted to do that and it was going to be worth my time, it would be like bigger companies. And at the
Sure.
same time, when you think of like the direction you want to go,
Yeah,
that wasn't going to be, it was just like more of a distraction. And
sure.
so I'm like
a
where I want to go is not there.
Shiny object.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah. It was like holding on to something what I tell my friends is like holding on to that thing that you're not embarrassed to tell people you do. Because
Sure.
it's not easy telling people you're a full-time YouTuber.
Really?
Yeah, but
Uh-huh.
your videos are great. You should be proud of that.
Right. Which is easy to say if you're not me. You know what I mean? Like it's like that one thing that I'm embarrassed to tell people, especially when you come from corporate background.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess that's
what type of
that's
responses
stigma.
do you get when you tell people that?
It depends on the person. So I just
Sure.
kind of like don't really tell people that much, but you get the mix of, oh, that's really cool. Or like, okay, sure. Good luck.
Right.
Yeah.
It just makes you wonder, like, all the million things they're not saying, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm just like,
Yep.
okay. Or you look at their face and I'm like,
Yeah. They make it seem like, oh, that's cute. Like
exactly. Yeah. And then you look
Right.
at me, right? I'm just like, okay, yeah, like it just looks very,
Right.
yeah.
Well,
that's
but your
cute.
videos do great. Your videos do great, and yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
I met Allison in Orange County about 11 years ago. 10 years ago.
No. 10?
2010.
Yeah, 11 sounds really old. So if you just say 10, like 9 or 10, let's just hold it right there.
Well, a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Are you not in Orange County?
I used to be.
Oh,
So
okay.
I grew up in NorCal.
Got it.
And then moved down for school and moved around, stayed down there for a while, and then moved back up about 9 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So where in Orange County are you?
Garden Grove.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So, well,
back to like talking about yourself and telling people what you do. Like I normally think that marketing is very dry and boring. So that's kind of why I said, how I said it is because I kind of think I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of facets to marketing, but I have yet to, try to make it more exciting, sexy, that type of thing. So.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Sometimes sexy though is kind of scary. Like sexy is low paying unless like you break that barrier and then sexy becomes like money. But until then, it's like.
Right. But it's so like, okay, so let me take that back. It's so needed, but then people never want to pay for it. So unless they budget it,
yes.
Which hardly anybody in my space ever budgets that.
Yeah.
On the outset. Yeah, on the onset, I guess.
Right. And I think this is why, Oscar, I told you I stopped with the video stuff. Because
Sure.
It's like people think it's like, it's just like this. Like, what do you mean?
Right.
You do it all the time. It's easy.
Right. Like, well, can't you just do it? Can't you just like, you just do it with your phone and can't you just make it? Why is it that much?
I'm going to strangle you.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like,
Just
oh, my
make it
cousin makes
pop.
videos. My cousin makes videos for
Yeah.
YouTube, and they said it would charge me like $80 for one, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
no.
So that's why I was like, you know what? Forget you guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I
true.
mean, Marcy's not here, but also Marcy's the one that introduced us, Allison. So
Okay. All right.
at one of the what's it called, social media breakfast.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, Marcy and I talk about it all the time too. Like, it's just marketing is one of those things that people don't realize they need until it's too late, and then they expect you to be a miracle worker.
Yeah.
On a
Right.
shoestring budget.
Where's the silver bullet?
Right. So.
Yeah.
But you know, there's an opportunity for everybody there to kind of capitalize on that. I posted back in the group. We skipped. When was the last time we did this, Allison? Oh, it was a month ago when we did the social media.
Was that the
day
last
thing.
time?
Yeah, I didn't do one after, did I? I don't think I did.
Maybe not. I have.
Yeah, you have. You have your open coffee thing, open office thing.
Right.
Yeah, so I think people are.
Ask me anything.
Yeah, ask me anything. But I think people maybe are kind of fell off contact for a little bit. So hopefully the next one will be a little bit better. But since we're all here, or the three of us, I guess I have some things I can bring up to talk about. But do you guys have something you want to talk about in regards to content, or any struggles, challenges, questions going on right now? If not, I have some prompts and stuff that we can go over.
I have just one little really interesting thing. So, so for 2 weeks in a row, I just put out I have a online marketing for women entrepreneurs group, and the name is like really, really long, but it's a Facebook group. And so I have like a whopping like 30 people in my group. So a couple weeks in a row, I would put out there like, hey, on Tuesday at 10, I'm going to do a video call. So I put it in there, and Sarah, who I met like in person before, hey, John. And she jumped on twice in a row, and she's like, hey, how do I do an online course? And I'm really interested in doing that. So this is the second week in a row.
I lost.
Yeah. Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm having some audio issues with you and Janelle.
Uh-oh.
Weird.
I was going to say, how about with John, but he hasn't said anything yet.
Hi, Oscar.
Hello, John.
Hi, Allison. Hi, Jen.
Hi.
Jenna.
Okay, maybe this is okay now. Sorry.
Is that better?
I was hearing some echo, and then you would go quiet, and same for Janelle, but I thought it was you guys. But then when both did it, I figured it's me. Okay, go on.
Anyway, so we've been just talking about online courses, and she's like, hey, since you've done one, and you talk me through it. And she was just like, you know, I want to know like all the tools that you use, and just dumb it down for me and just tell me everything. I'm like, but wait, I'm trying to get that together. So anyway, she was like, and should I blog, and should I post things on Pinterest? And it's like, so everything that I've been talking about for like the past, I don't know, 2 months. So it was really, really awesome. So we had this great conversation. And so anyway, I'm hoping that other people will join us, but nobody yet. So it's only 2 people in this group of 30 that's really interested in creating a course. So, but I'm excited about it.
Cool. Yeah. I've seen a couple big marketers do courses on how to build a course, and they do it on the fly. And the first one was kind of a gimmick, but he actually turned out to be like a 7-figure sale, because he said, you know, join, and I'm going to walk you through how to build the course. And the course was how to build the course itself. And so it was kind of like this feedback loop. But I mean, when you have, you know, 100,000 people on your email list, and everybody thinks that you can get rich overnight, then that works, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sold it for like the typical $19.97, you know, like $2,000. Made him wait like 2 months. Yeah, made him wait like 2 months, and then I think his name is. He used to be some surfer guy from San Diego. I keep forgetting. He's very famous. Frank Kern.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he did it like a few years ago.
Oh, Frank Hurd. Oh, of course he could do it.
You know who he is, right?
No, I know who he is.
Yeah. And so
he's like the launch. Is he the?
yeah, he's one of the launch kings. Like like if you get him to help you launch your product, you're gonna make like $1 million no matter what.
Yeah, I can't remember. There's an actual little term. Anyway. But yeah, it's been fun talking with her. So we'll just see where that goes.
Yeah, I mean, you should do if you do I know you're building the course, but if you do all the tools and stuff, sometimes that's what people want to see. Like all the behind the scenes, not necessarily just the end result of the course. So
yeah, like she was getting into it. She was like, I know you can buy that big light, but then there's a smaller light, and then there's a phone light, and there's a ring light, and then there's and she talks really, really fast, and I can like barely get in a word. And so she's like, and then what software do you use for this? And then I could use this, but this is free. And okay, let me re-listen to this, and I'll get back to you.
Sure.
But it was fun.
So which one are you using for your? Are you using Teachable, or?
Actually, I got Thinkific last year. So I was using that, and I subscribed to a full year, but that was up in February. So now I'm on their free plan, but I have a course that I'm offering for free to build up my subscriber list.
Got it.
So that's kind of where I'm at, where I'm starting. So.
Got it.
And that one, you're just self-hosting pretty much, right? Like, what is it?
I'm doing what?
Self-hosting it, like, I mean, because it's free, it's just video series, right, that you have on like YouTube.
That is Thinkific.
Okay. So you are actually using Thinkific on that. Okay.
Yeah. And so it's cool. That's what I have to do my follow-up email series on. Like, hey, are you having trouble, or
sure,
how do I help you?
Got it.
Okay, I don't want to talk anymore. Somebody else could talk.
That's okay. Well, welcome, John and Miriam.
Good.
I was just kind of introducing Allison and Janelle to each other. I know everybody in person here except for Miriam, but Miriam, I feel like I've known you as well for a few years now. So I'm glad everybody's here. And then we were just talking about content and marketing, like Allison was talking about right now. She's building a course and some of her experiences with that. So I just wanted to kind of get together. It's been like 3 or 4 weeks since we did one, and I intended to do this every week. I was telling Allison the other day that holidays always throw me off. Like, I hate them because it kills momentum and it kills motivation and stuff for me. But hopefully we'll have one of these again next week. And the reason we got together to begin with was because we were going to do a 30-day content challenge, Allison and I, and we did it. We got a lot of lessons, and then we were kind of talking about it the other day, like, what's the next thing? Like, what do we do now? 30 days passed. But, we decided to keep the group going and talk more about it. So brought you guys back together and see if you guys have stuff you want to talk about in regards to content. And I know you all do, because I've talked to you individually on your own things. So what would you like to talk about? What kind of questions do you have? And if you don't, be sure. Yeah, go ahead, Janelle.
Viewer retention.
Oh, okay.
It drives me nuts.
You mean in a video, like specifically once they watch a video, I had to keep them throughout the whole thing?
Yes. And it's like, I feel like I thought I knew, but it's more like you don't, especially with like, if each video, I don't know. Okay, so basically there's this girl. Have you heard of Kelly Stamps? She's blown up on YouTube. She doesn't have that many videos, but she's basically like this meme, and people just watch her. She creates all sorts of content. She's not just like a niche topic. It's anything and everything. She does hauls. She does like stories where she like smack talks about people. She does like, I'm wandering around Santa Monica, like things like that.
Kelly Stamps?
Yes. And she's great. It's just like, I watch it and I'm like, God, like, what is it that, she does that keeps me through this whole thing? And so I tried to do that with my recipe video. So for all of you who don't know, I have a YouTube channel with recipe videos. And so what Kelly Stamp says is that over 10 minutes, non-negotiable, that's just what you have to do because you want to increase your watch time on YouTube, right? And in the past, I never really cared about that. I was just like, whatever the duration is, I'll just do it. Like maybe sometimes it's like 3 minutes a recipe video would be, and then sometimes it would be like maybe 10, depending on like how much I have to do. So anyway, since I watched her thing and she's blown up, right? So you got to like kind of replicate what someone successful is doing. I increased my watch time, but by like just talking more as in like giving them more tips, because there is space for more tips and little things like that that will actually help you. But people are dropping out like some people, let's say like the first video that I did like that, the view duration for like, let's say, I think it was 11 minutes was like 5 minutes, which is pretty good considerably.
Okay.
My more recent one is about the same amount, but now it's like 2 minutes or 3 minutes, which is pretty bad. But the views are up and the impression click-through rate is up. And basically I'm going crazy because it's like, I get more clicks, but then people aren't staying. But then for the last one, I'm not getting as many clicks, and then more people are staying. And I'm just like, when you're a solo creator and you're cranking out 2 videos a week, there's only so many things you can A/B test, and I always got to keep going. So it's like, what? I don't know. There's like a code I can't crack, I guess.
Well, I'll tell you some things for now, but I think Miriam, do you want to say something? Yeah. You're muted, so you gotta unmute yourself.
So I just have a question, and I don't want you to feel discouraged, because sometimes it depends what time you're posting, because I'm guilty of this. Sometimes I'll watch something and I'm like, oh no, I got to come back to this because I get busy or I have something happen with my kid or something. So so I'm just curious what time. And also I would like to ask, since she brought this up, what time do you guys suggest is a good time for the best engagement?
I'm writing some of this down so I can address them, because I just went through this with 2 other groups I belong to that are where I was a student, and I'll tell you what I learned from that.
Okay, that's all. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. So Janelle, I'm looking at Kelly's stamps, and you're right. I mean, she is, to be the cliche niche, like lifestyle, like all over the place about everything. I mean, like, give me a break. My flexibility routine, and she's showing how to stretch. Who cares?
Oh, there's some where she legit just dances in the whole video. Like, it's just a dance routine. She doesn't say anything.
Right. Well, so she is one of, 10 million people, right? Mm-hmm. Like, there's almost 2 billion users on YouTube. And I think they said something like 5% of those are creators. And from that, like less than 0.5% will ever get more than 100,000 subscribers. Mm-hmm. So that's the first thing you have to consider. She's not like, I mean, yeah, she's doing great, but just following what she's doing is not necessarily going to get you what you want to go, because you don't know what she's actually doing. Yeah. She may be saying one thing, unless she actually, and I've never even heard of her until right now. If she doesn't show you her actual mechanism and statistics and analytics, I would take whatever she says with a grain of salt, because she's doing something obviously to get 100,000 views per video. That doesn't really make sense, right? So, hey, Kim. So just always keep that in mind, and don't compare yourself to other people. Now, there are two people I recommend you check out. One is Sean Cannell. Have you heard of him?
Yes.
Okay.
I signed up for his thing. That's what helped my YouTube channel, actually.
Yeah, perfect. So I think it's Think Media, right? It's his group. Yes. So definitely follow, his 7-day challenges and stuff like that. Those are pretty good. And then the other guy, Daryl Eves. Have you heard of him? Daryl Eves. You heard of him, John? Okay.
Yeah.
So Daryl,
he's been around a long time.
Yeah, and apparently.
Okay, it's this guy.
Yeah, take them. I personally trust Sean a lot more because of what he said and the way he presents himself. Yeah. Daryl is a little bit more fluffy as far as like kind of like rah, you can do this kind of thing. Yes. But then some of the advice doesn't fit into what he's saying. But some of the things I've learned from him is what you mentioned already. Longer videos As long as they have the quality, then and the content without just rambling on, those are good.
Yes.
But both of them have said, do not post your videos outside of YouTube until later. So in other words, yeah, I know this was, I was like, what are you talking about? So basically when you create your video, they say, optimize it for YouTube and do not immediately go to Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and share it.
Dang it.
Because this is what happens. And it makes sense from the algorithm perspective. Let's say that, you post your video right now and you're like, this is amazing. One of my best work. Everything's done right. You did a good title, captions. You did the segmentation, the little chapter markers, a good description. You have good storytelling to keep people hooked in every 30 seconds. You did all that, and then you go and post it to your Facebook. And let's say you have 1,000 followers on Facebook. All of those people are maybe your friends. Some of them are your friends, family, and of course some fans. And you have people like us. We're going to go and click on that, thinking that we're supporting you by clicking on it, but we're not going to watch the video. Most people won't. And what happens is YouTube's like, hey, you know what? We got like 100 hits in 10 minutes, but they dropped off 10 seconds after.
I see.
And immediately YouTube will penalize you for that.
Okay.
So what I would do is to try to kind of restart your channel. Is one of the things that Daryl did on his 30-day challenge. He just ran one about a month ago. Go look at your analytics for the past, for the lifetime of your channel, and take the top 3 videos, okay? And then remake those.
Ooh.
So, like an updated version. I know.
Okay. I've thought about doing it, and you just confirmed it.
Yeah, I mean, and he says this is the way to restart a channel and then also address all the algorithm changes, because YouTube is still sending traffic to your top videos because they are your top videos. So you take the top video, do an updated version of it or a follow-up to it, and then you link them in between. Like on the old one, you put a link back to it, to the new one, say, hey, this is updated version, et cetera, et cetera. And for just do not share it outside of YouTube. Let it be organic and work on YouTube only. And then do this on your next schedule. Do it for the next one down the list, and do that for like the top 3 or 4.
Okay.
And then in between that, then just do more follow-ups that are related to those topics, because the algorithm is telling you that that's what people are interested in.
Okay.
Hi, Dene, and Steven, how are you? I get caught up into what I want to do a lot, and kind of forget what the audience is telling me they want to see. So, and then obviously do all the mechanics, use your stories. You can do stories, right? Yeah, because you have over 10,000 subscribers. So use stories.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Because I can only do community posts, but you can actually do stories, like short little video clips. Use those.
Okay.
Even when you're not posting. So do a couple every day, Like if you go shopping today, but you're not going to shoot for 2 days, use this next 2 days to do stories. Like, oh, check out this, this ingredient, or I'm going to show you what I make with this. Build that momentum, those hooks for the video. And then in your storytelling, obviously make sure that you are hooking people up for the next 30 seconds and the next minute, so that they don't figure out where to jump next, or they don't want to hear this part and they skip. And at the same time, make sure you also have your time codes to have your chapters and all the, use all the features on YouTube basically.
Yes.
And then go for that. And you don't know if this Kelly lady is paying for traffic or is part of a pod kind of group kind of thing, So don't get discouraged from people like that. Because I mean, you've been on TikTok too. Like I go to TikTok and I think of a video to make, or I'm like, okay, I'm going to do good advice about something. I'll get like 10 views, 100 views. And then and this is a meme. It's like somebody would literally stand there and will get 300,000 views.
Yeah.
Just because they're standing there like in a bikini or whatever. It's like,
You could get 300,000 views standing in a bikini.
Oh, yeah.
Should I try that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That'd be worth it.
If you do it, I'll do it, John.
I'm on, baby. I got the man boobs to do it too, man.
Oh, there you go.
Sorry, ladies.
We'll do the like European style speedos.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go. There we go. Yep.
Yeah.
That would crush it.
Yeah. Anyway, those are kind of my answers, Janelle. And to answer Miriam's question about scheduling, schedule works or schedule matters only in that you shouldn't post when your audience is asleep. That is definitely a rule. But besides that, YouTube itself will tell you what the best time is over time. So if you produce enough content and you pay attention to it, you may notice a difference. Like if you post, let's say 9 a.m., 11, 3, and 7 p.m. If you use those as your 4 slots to test your videos, and you do 10 or 15 videos like that, maybe you'll see a pattern, maybe you won't. But what I would do is I would just target to your audiences. For example, most of my audience are business owners that still have a job. Okay, so like they have a side hustle. They want to do something on their own, but they have a side hustle. So what can I guess from that? Is that they're quitting between 3 and 5 o'clock in the afternoon when they quit their normal day job and start doing their work. So I have to guess what is the window of time for them to either go and learn something or take a little break from everything and watch some videos on YouTube. And then I have to try to capture them there. My best time is not, say, first thing in the morning, because my audience is going to work. Like they're either commuting or getting started on their meetings or whatever it is, and they're going to be tied up for the next 8 hours. And at the same time, if I post too late at night, I usually see that I don't get any views, and it's very hard to revive that video. For every social network, especially YouTube, we have what's called velocity. So when you post a video, it's not just how many views you get, but how many views you get in a period of time. And that goes by hours, then by days, then by weeks. So you want to get as many views as you can in an hour, and then extend that for the rest of the day. So to keep growing that. So it matters, the schedule matters, but I would put it down in the list of priorities. As just don't post at like 3 in the morning. If you find yourself finishing that video at that late, just schedule it for the next day. Yeah.
So Oscar, you said don't cross post it for a while. What's the time frame that makes sense when you want to start putting it out?
I would do until your next video. Like just I mean, if you're doing daily video, maybe 2 or 3 days. But if you're doing like 2 videos a week or 1 video per week, then start promoting the previous video when you publish the current one outside of social media. That way you let YouTube tell you a more pure results on your efforts. Because if you post a video and YouTube promotes it, then the audience is primed for it. But like, you have an audience, I have an audience in Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, whatever. And I've seen that with my videos. I post it onto somewhere on social media and I'll get 100 views more than normal in an hour. But then the view time drops, and then they don't promote it to other people, and then it just kind of dies. And then I won't see it come back up into views statistics for like a couple months, and once the search kicks in. So that's it. And obviously, invite people to like, comment, all that stuff. And John, I think you are like me, where we cannot use stories yet. Right. So definitely use your community post to say, hey, tomorrow's video is going to be great. Post a picture, a little hook. And then, I should do more of that, but I haven't. You can do polls in there. You can do just normal like mini blog posts, if you would. So just stuff to keep you engaged and see what people may be interested in. Yeah. So.
Cool. Hopefully, I had just a comment about people jumping off your video. Sunny Lenarduzzi, if you guys know who she is, she's been lately, I haven't watched her in the past maybe month or so, but she did a post where she talked about not putting links, clickable links during your video. So if you say, hey, see my video about the next topic, rather than put a card at the top, she would just put a picture and say, hey, the link is below. Click on it after you viewed this video. So she's discouraging people from clicking away in the middle of the video. And that's one item, but I mean, she's got a lot of velocity, and it's a lot different than our channels, I'm sure.
Yes, and she's one of the things that she does is she's very willing to test a lot of stuff. And I've heard that before, but I also heard it. I heard that same thing come with a warning, saying that that's kind of like when search engine optimization people are chasing the search engines. So you're trying to manipulate it, and ultimately the longevity of your video depends on the YouTube algorithm, and the YouTube algorithm should quote unquote reward you for doing the YouTube way. So because I've heard the same thing, for example, when they say, if you want to put your social media and website and stuff in the description, don't put the full link. Like, don't put http / because that makes it clickable. They say just put the, johnalessi.com and let people copy and paste that. And I think, well, that's good because it discourages people from clicking. And if they really want to go to it, they copy and paste. But at the same time, I feel like that's a disservice to the audience. Like, you're making it harder for them for your benefit. And I think at the end, it kind of backfires you. I don't know. I would definitely try it. But I think that YouTube may reward you for using like the clickable cards because they can also use that for more revenue for them for selling. Say, hey, we got so many views, or we got this video gets some X amount of clicks and stuff when they're doing the auction sales on the videos and stuff. I would say try it. And definitely follow her to see what she has to say if you don't know of her. Janelle, Sunny Lena Dursey, I think.
Yes, I just watched her video, actually. She's really, she didn't do fancy stuff anymore. She just hooked me in 35 minutes watching her thing.
Right.
And she's just talking. So she's doing something right.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. If you look at her history, she was all about huge production before.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think in the past year, she said, that's not working anymore. Like, people want to see more you.
Yep.
So she said something like she switched to a regular point and shoot camera instead of her whole big thing, and she didn't have a crew anymore and stuff. Mm-hmm. So you got to try different things, but people still like good production. It you just don't have to spend 3 weeks making a video.
I feel like it's it has to look nice, good lighting, probably 1080p, but it has to feel casual.
It does.
It's like a balance, right?
Yeah, don't be perfect. Like if you have something in the background, I know you cook Filipino food, so it's the bag of rice is still sitting in the background. Like, don't worry that it's going to be cluttered. Yeah. It's who cares,
People actually like that stuff. I mean, at least on my channel, people like to see that I mess up and stuff. So that's been working. So I'm just okay, I'll show it. It saves me time, and it helps people relate because kitchen's not perfect.
Yeah. So, so that was a great question. And I would say just be consistent. That's another thing. Try to, if you want to do 2 a week, like you said, do them the same days at the same time.
Yeah. It's been hard, but it's doable.
Yeah. So anyway, great question. Hey, Kim and Steven, welcome. If you guys want to say who you are real quick, feel free to jump in. Obviously, you heard part of this conversation. We're just talking about whatever content topics are in your mind. Talking about video right now. I know John and I have had video talks before in our in-person meetings. Are you still doing your tips and stuff?
Yeah, for those of you who have never met me, my channel is real estate information, but actually I found a guy that really kind of dialed in, because we're finding that most people don't want to really, they want to know what all these terminologies are, but it's really not interesting. So what I've really switched over to is very area-centric videos. I work in the Mission Viejo and South Orange County area. So my videos are 5 reasons why you want to live in Mission Viejo, or 5 cities around Mission Viejo that are great communities, or those sorts of things, rather than, hey, 3 tips on how to close escrow or something like that, which is just like reading a law book or something. So I've gone to more of the of that topic that people might even search for. And I've seen my numbers increase. People that are searching for moving to Mission Viejo or moving to Southern California, moving to Orange County. I'm getting a lot better response. In fact, I just got, you'll be happy to hear this, Oscar, I got a call. A guy said, hey man, I watched all of your videos. And of course, my first response was, wow, you need to get a life.
Yeah,
but,
like why?
Yeah. But he said, I'm interested in buying this property in Newport Beach. Do you go out to Newport Beach? I said, yeah, it's in my area. And it turns out it's a $2.5 million house the guy wants to buy.
Nice.
So, it's not a done deal. It's still got a million problems with it, but that kind of stuff just shows that it works. For me, anybody who raises their hand and says, hey, I'm interested in buying a house or selling a house or getting more information, is I don't have a small product to sell. I have a huge product, right, that people want to buy or sell. So it's been working really good. I've been trying to get once a week. I've been a little bit off my game, but it's been, the consistency has been once a week.
Okay, sure.
It's been working.
Hey, Stephen, you want to jump in and tell us real quick?
Hi, how you doing, everyone?
Hey, Stephen.
Doing great.
Well, I'm here because Miss Miriam invited me to the Zoom call. We work on the film industry. We do like film festivals, like 2 times a year. Besides that, it's something I love, because you meet like celebrities, you meet filmmakers from all over the world. You get to experience like things that you never seen before or done before. You get to travel to other cities. Like we started about 4 years ago in Miami, Florida, and last year we went to Las Vegas. Let me see if I get a clear. Last year we went to Las Vegas to do a film festival, and this year we're going to Barcelona, Spain, in November. And I'm kind of new into everything, and I'm learning day by day because I travel a lot because my family have a trucking business, and I do a trucking business on the side as well, besides other things I do. And like whenever I'm not in the United States, I travel to other countries like Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua. Nicaragua is my country. That's where I was born. And I spent a lot of times in Nicaragua. So since I've been doing a lot of things and I travel like from place to place, like almost often, like almost every week, I've been seeing like a lot of people who post or do videos on YouTube or other platforms. Like they're really simple, It's like I think it's a way to make extra money. Like if you get like followers or views or stuff like that. Like I say, this is something new for me, and I'm learning. And I think I should probably try it out. I remember one time one of the speakers at one of the film festival was telling me that because I travel to a lot of places and I see different cultures and different cities, it could be like really nice to have a channel and like show the people like who you are and like record everything where you go and do small videos. And he was saying like remember to like show yourself and some other videos because you want people to know that you've been there. It's not like you got videos from somebody else or somebody will share it to you and you put it on your channel or your videos, but in reality you never been there. So he was telling me like if I would be like an investor, and a project, I probably will hire you that you travel and you move often. Then taking my shots on somebody that will do everything in the same area. Let's say the same city, the same places, the same people, because you are like the type of person that you don't really see the same person, the same faces all the time, or you don't really see the same background as well. You know what I mean? Everything is different every single day. So now that I'm here, it's really nice to hear everything they're talking about. And like I say, I'm new to this, and I really like it. So let's see where we go from here. And thank you for having me over. And
Sure.
this is me.
Cool.
Thank you for joining. Yeah, definitely. You have a great opportunity that a lot of people wish they had. If you get to travel, definitely use that for content. People love to see different ways of doing things, or I mean, anything that's different than what they're used to, they like to see. And yeah, record that. Just you can use your phone or a small camera, put it together, and say, this is how, this is like street food in Nicaragua, or this is what I do. I don't know what business you're in and stuff, but whatever you're into, if you show some of it, and then
Hmm.
you're in different countries and dealing with different cultures and stuff, people like to see a lot of that. Um, and if you're doing anything that's fancy, then of course show that. People like to always see glamour and stuff. You get a unique opportunity that a lot of people just don't have. So, yeah.
Yeah, like since I've been meeting a lot of people through those film festivals. Whenever I go to other countries, I get invites from people, and I'm the type of person that if I go to a place, let's say, let me give you an example. Let's say I fly from Miami to Las Vegas, right? I go to Vegas, I rent a car, and I take a road trip. I go to LA, and from LA I go to San Francisco, and from San Francisco I go like probably uh, another city, another state, because I like driving. I like taking road trips. So the things you don't see when you flying, you see it like when you're driving. And like the same thing is when I travel to other countries. Let's say sometimes I travel to San Jose, Costa Rica. I stay there with my friends, and then I take a bus and I go to Nicaragua. Uh, you know, like um, let's say like I like moving like by land or however. But when I travel in the United States, I like going to one city or one state and like taking the road trip to the next state or the next city. It's really wonderful because you see things that you like the same thing. We go over with the same thing. You see things you never think that they really exist or they are in this country, right? The same thing like when you go to the countries, it's like I know Spanish and English, so I understand when people speak Spanish and English. So that I have something that helped me a lot, because it's two languages. And when I go to other countries, I like to rent a car and I like to see the good side from whatever country I go and the bad side. The bad side is like how people really live in those countries, and the good side is, let's say, the places where everything's fancy, where like the luxury places where the money is, like nice building, nice places to go in. And like when you go outside these places, you really see the real life, or how hard it is for people living in other countries. They don't really live like the same place or like the major city. They really live like I mean, like you see things like you never imagine. the those countries, like they show the face of the good things, but they don't really show the face of how really how people live. It's the same thing when you come to LA. LA is beautiful, but when you go outside the nice places, you see a lot of homeless. You see a lot of people living on the street. I don't know
Yeah.
if some of you know California a lot. It's same thing for same thing for San Francisco.
Yeah.
It's pretty. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, to kind of give you some inspiration, and everyone else, you may want to, if you like to watch travel videos, there's a guy named Bald and Bankrupt. You should check him out. I think
Oh yeah, if you.
he started this
Hmm.
channel because I think he got divorced and he was like, Like I have like this money left, and he decided to travel. He's got 2 million subscribers now. But his whole skit is he picks a cheap flight somewhere, travels with like a backpack, sometimes a friend, no destination, no plans of lodging or anything. He gets out from the airport and starts asking people, "Hey, where's downtown?" And he just makes his way downtown, showing his whole journey along the way. And as he goes through asking people, it's like, "What do you guys do here?" etc. Like, "Oh, there's this," and then he just gets into it. So like he was in Bolivia recently, or he hasn't done any video in a couple months because of the quarantine, I'm sure. Like he went to Peru or Bolivia, and they're like, "Oh, well, what is this that they're eating?" And they eat like guinea pigs, like that's a big dish.
Yeah.
So he just found out where, and then he just started eating, and then he walked into somebody's house, and then like the taxi driver is like, "Oh yeah, come to my house. My wife will make you dinner," and like that's his travel blog. Nothing fancy or anything. But he just gets out of the plane and look literally like, "Okay, where do I go?" And he goes. He has no plans until he starts. So the reason I bring him up, Stephen, is because if you see what he highlights and what he talks
Yeah.
about, you may realize, hey, I see that stuff all the time. People that we, as tourists, we think of a resort and the nice places to go and all that stuff. But like this guy's made a living out of YouTube by showing like just the roots of how people live there, which is very interesting. So check him out.
That's a good
Bald,
idea.
yeah, Bald
Yeah.
and Bankrupt. Very, very interesting. And he has a little personality, which I think you do for this as well. So you should definitely try that. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'll take a
anyway,
look at it. So
yeah. Oh,
one or yeah, the only thing I could say that like I've been doing this for the last 4 years. I've already been to a lot of places. It's really amazing, like you said, like sometimes you can travel like for I would say pennies because like sometimes I've been traveling from Miami to to San Jose, Costa Rica, with Spirit Airline like for $56, and the same thing I get deals over here inside the United States. And like I like renting car because I don't like taking buses. No matter where I go, I like having my car. I like going my way and not wasting like my time. And like people probably can think like it's really expensive to really travel, but it's a good idea to like show the people out there that you could do amazing stuff without having like a lot of money. You could do amazing stuff doing like traveling where everyone's working. Let's say like whenever you're traveling like non-holiday days, it's really cheaper to travel and getting good deals and hotels and everything. And like it's really amazing like everything you could get like when you travel like with your time and like outside non-holiday weekends, or days, what I
sure.
mean?
Yeah.
So that would be like a good channel to like advise people how to do things and how to move from place to place. Like
Yeah.
that's a good, wonderful idea. I should think about it and open a channel about that. Like I said, I need to do this. I'm learning, and
Yeah.
I think
Just,
I got a point now.
yeah, you just got to take out your phone, clean the lens, and start it. So,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Hey, Kim, are you still with us, or did you drop off? I think you dropped off, maybe. I don't know. 'Cause I'm pretty sure you're still at your office right now. But anyway, yeah. So talked a lot about YouTube today. Any other questions you guys want to cover? Any topics? Miriam, I know you were doing a beauty contest. You want to tell us some of the lessons you learned about content related to that?
Sure. So I ended up being a quarterfinalist. I came in 8th place, and that I beat out like 20,000 other models. And thank you. It was such a great experience because I guess some people didn't know that I was like a content creator and I told stories. And that's what I really like doing. I like telling stories, and I have some interesting stories because I used to work in the hospital, and then I became an entrepreneur. And then I went into the modeling and the fashion and the this and the film and this. So a lot of people don't know like the trajectory, or they didn't know, like I shared some real good stories. And as a result, I got new followers. I got new brand collaborations. And now I'm more into the fitness. So now it expanded my network, and it motivated me. And now like I have a whole different vision. Like now it blossomed into something else, you know? And I made really good, valuable connections. Like I met other models, like influencers, and now I'm connecting with them. So everything you do, you know, brings something good. You know, I may not have one, but it gave me the opportunity to showcase my writing skills as an influencer, and I wrote about certain things that were serious, about the importance about girls and boys having fathers, and women empowerment and things of that nature. So it was a good run. It was a beautiful experience, and I think that I opened myself up. I was very transparent. You know, I shared some personal things, and that made likability. I mean, people now like me because of it. You know, because of the realness behind my writing.
Sure. I think that sharing vulnerabilities is always good because it takes those off the table for somebody to attack you first. Because, you know, everybody's always concerned about, you know, whatever, a weakness or a blemish on the past or a lack of knowing something. And if you just put it out there, and anybody, because I'm sure you got some of this, or, you know, maybe not, but I think everybody kind of gets, if not hate, you get some snide comments and kind of underhanded jabs.
Oh, I did. I got it all.
Right.
I got it all.
But if you put yourself out there and you kind of put out, not worse is not the right word, but like if you put like your weakest aspects of it and you just like, hey, if you own them, then when people try to come at you, they're like, so what? I already said about that. Like, who cares? Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think that's it's a good thing to put out some vulnerabilities and personal stuff. It disarms the haters, I think. Mm-hmm. So that's a good thing. And I think you did great. I mean, I followed you from the beginning. I saw you posting, you know, asking for voting and stuff. And yeah, you did great. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Mary,
from the last,
where do you publish your content?
Well, now it's only on social media. I'm working on a new website. It's going to be like a lifestyle. I have some, it's going to be a store, products. It's going to be also like a lot of my modeling work. I have a meeting on Friday where I'm going to go to like a production. I'm teaming up with a production company, and I plan to do little videos, like videos about, and sponsored videos, you know? So I'm working on that. And if people want to advertise like their, like right now, like wraps, they want to do like wraps for your belly, you know? So I'm going to have those, or like if they have like some kind of hair product, or right now I have like a brand that I'm working with for lip gloss, and fake eyelashes. So like they're coming in slowly but surely. So, but that's how I'm planning to monetize and you know, use the brands, and also have like, I think it's gonna be my tiny girl TV. So that's what I'm working on. So we'll see how it goes Friday, but that's like my thing. So now I'm like gonna really focus on having my YouTube channel, because that's where I want to go. You know, I've been building a YouTube channel for my son, and I have like my first episode. So I'm still new with the YouTube, but that's where I want to go, because I want to bring everything from from Instagram, Facebook, Twitter to the YouTube. That's the plan.
How's your TikTok coming along?
My TikTok is booming.
That's great.
I love it. Like that's my jam. Yeah. And I fought it for a long time. People were like trying to convince me. Even my brother's like, look, TikTok is the way to go. But until I came here to this group, sure. And now I'm loving it, and I'm just having fun, and I'm like really getting crazy with the features, you know.
Sure.
Like, I'm going in, and some people are actually complimenting me on my video qualities on TikTok.
Yeah, that's good. I think
Yeah.
Janelle gave it a try, and I think she's more focused on YouTube, right? I wish John, I wish Kina was here. She's in our group too, and she's also a realtor, but she's killing it with TikTok. And I don't know if it's actually generated sales, but what she does is she does live Q&As maybe once or twice a week, and people ask, oh, what's the best, should I get PMI? Do I get this? How do I get an FHA loan? That's, kind of first time buyer stuff. But what she's getting attention in is some videos that she makes where they're just like, what do you get for this amount? And she'll open up with like, what do you get for $1.5 million in Orange? And she'll walk through a house that's in that price range. And then what do you get for 300,000 in Anaheim? Stuff like that.
Oh, that's true.
They're very
You
interesting.
You just reminded me. That was one of my things. Before COVID, I was doing my license for real estate, and everything has been closed down. But now you just reminded me, real estate. Oh, I got to follow up and go back to my class. Thank you.
Sure. What's that person's name, Oscar?
Kina DeSantis, and I'll find you her. She's in our group, but I'll find you her TikTok so you can see it.
Oh, cool.
Because it's pretty interesting. And I mean, she started, I think, midway through the pandemic, and she's doing really well so far.
Good luck, Miriam.
Yes. So now, yeah, TikTok is hard for me because I'm just not a goofy person.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. It's like, I'm not in the younger demographic, and I'm a little more serious. So,
well, the age, I can totally debunk the age thing. That doesn't matter. I've seen people older than you, my age, and they're crushing it. But it takes, like, I'm stiff. I just can't, like, it takes a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's acting or being silly or what. Like, you don't have to do a goofy dance or anything, but you do have to have some looseness about you. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, I think motion or animation or animation within yourself or your routine probably is more helpful than just standing there like a talking head.
Right. Although there's some that are just talking head videos, but it's for the topic that they're in, they do great. I mean, they have millions of views. Wow. They have attorneys, accountants, like the dry niches. It's just finding a way to tell the story in less than 60 seconds and make it interesting. That's what gets them views. You have dietitians, doctors that are pretty boring, so to speak, but their content gets views because they give you what would have been normally like a 15-minute video on YouTube. They give it to you in like 60 seconds. Mm-hmm. So when you mentioned, 5 things about Orange County, whatever you were talking about, one thing I was thinking about is to do trivia. You could do trivia about Orange County, like, 5 things you never knew about San Clemente. And then once you see some of those videos on TikTok like that, you'll understand. You just put some catchy music and you use one that is already popular. And you can just use little headlines. You don't even have to speak. And you just have to show like the beach, panning left and right and do 5 things you never knew about San Clemente or Mission Viejo. Did you know the lake is man-made or whatever? Or, which I don't know if it is, but.
It is.
Yeah, and say, it holds 22 million gallons of water, equivalent to, 18 Olympic pools. Little things like that would probably get you a lot of views.
I gotta try that. Yeah. I don't even have a TikTok account. I've just kind of pushed it away, but this would be a good time to at least take a look at it and give it a shot. That's good encouragement, man.
Yeah, because I mean, it's easy for me to come up with ideas for other people, but I can't come up with ideas for me.
That's okay. I'll take your ideas.
Yeah, run with them. But yeah, spend some time in it, look at it, and then go from there. I haven't looked at Miriam's in a couple of days, but I did last week. Yes, go ahead, Miriam.
Sorry. So how do I get these? Because I've been looking. I know that there's some people that do like some acting on it, like
On what? On TikTok?
on TikTok. Yeah.
So how do you get what?
So how do I get like the template to do like the comedy gimmicks?
Oh, you just have to do it. There's no templates. I mean, yeah, so the easiest way that I would tell you to start is to find a funny one that you like. Like
Mhm.
just spend time looking at them and then just watch how they do it and then use the sound. So when you start your video, say use this sound. And then what you're going to do is you're literally going to record yourself doing the skit. And some really popular ones is a one-man show. It's a one-person show. Like you will record the one part of the script in one angle with like one outfit, then
Mhm.
go change with the outfit, then record the other part of it, and then you edit that to match the audio.
Okay,
Those
I
do
see.
really well. It takes a little bit of practice, I think, but there's
Okay.
no templates or anything. It just you just have to do. The key to TikTok is picking the music that is already popular, because once you get into TikTok, you'll see how you navigate it, and the way that you navigate some of it sometimes is people click on a sound and then they see all the videos that were created under that sound, and then that's how you get a lot of views when you're unknown. I know that I've done 3 videos with a popular sound that have gotten like 10 times the normal views, and I know it's just because of the sound. So
Okay.
yeah, just scroll
Perfect. Thank you.
through. Yeah, yeah, scroll through the front page, the popular places, and pick, see what people are doing, uh, and then when you're ready, do your script. And what I would do is, yeah, just emulate somebody else. Like that's what is really popular. And then at some point you feel comfortable, then write your own. Like it's because I feel like Hispanics have a different sense of humor, and I see that come through because I picked Spanish and English as my languages, so I get to see some stuff that English only don't get to see, and they're hilarious. Just like using the what do you call it? The stereotypical Hispanic cultural stuff. Like I think most people won't. Only you will understand it, maybe, and Steven. Like La Chancla, you know what La Chancla is, right? Yeah. So there's a bunch of, for you guys that don't know, that's the shoe, and that like the joke is that the mom, whenever you do something wrong, the mom takes off her shoe and is going to hit you with it. But there's a whole universe of jokes around that, and some people get millions of views on just that simple joke. Like, anyway, yeah, I don't want to get too into it, but definitely, there's no templates. You just have to find one that you like and then try to do it the same way. Like TikTok, what I've noticed, people love copying others, and there's no shame in it, no, like, nothing about it. So I mean, you are doing it all yourself. That's it. Like, just do it. Like, you could say it word by word, but because it's you and it's in your own place and in your own situation, it's your own work, and you're using a common ground starting point, which is the sound. So yeah, just do that. We could have a whole TikTok specific call soon if you guys are into it.
Yeah,
And
it'd be
then
fun. At some
yeah,
point, sure.
I think one thing I notice about you is that when you know all these things because you spent time on the platform. You know what I mean? Like you can't possibly understand TikTok until you spend some time on it.
yeah,
And YouTube, the same thing. Like I'm so not great at either of those two. But when I ask you questions or when anybody like on this call asks you, you have story after story after story that you could tell about certain people that you've watched on
sure,
YouTube or that you followed. So I think that key is you have to spend some time learning these platforms, right? If you're gonna
absolutely.
create content for them.
Yeah, yeah,
And
that's
there's also platforms that you don't like that you probably should spend some more time on. But
yes, there
anyway,
is
yeah,
LinkedIn. I hate it,
yeah.
but yeah, that's what makes me effective at coaching other people is because I actually spend time on the platform. And a lot of my clients come in and say, well, I don't have time to be on TikTok. I just want to post. And that's like a death sentence. Like, you have to spend time on where you want to. If you want people to spend time on you, you have to spend time on that platform. Because there's a lot of, I can teach you all the mechanics of it, but the nuance of the culture on the platform, you will only understand once you spend time on it. Like, it needs to click in. You need to understand, like, why is this a joke? Why do people think it's funny? Because sometimes you won't get it until you spend time, and then you'll see a different version of the same joke 15 different times. And you're like, oh, okay, I finally got it. Like, that makes sense now. Or, you know, you see somebody that you can relate to a little bit more do the same joke, and then you understand it. And then you'd be surprised how many people come to me to get YouTube help and haven't watched a full YouTube video in like 2 months. I'm like, how is that possible? I mean, you know, you have to spend time on it. Like, you have to learn how things work and why things work. Like, people want to clutter their thumbnails with all this text because they've never looked at a video on YouTube and see how the thumbnail works. Like, the thumbnail needs to have like 2 or 3 words and be catchy, you know, and until you spend time on it, you can only take my word for it. You can't understand it internally. And that's what a lot of people are missing. So yeah, definitely spend time on it. I would say 20 minutes on TikTok at least every day for a week before you start posting. And I say that because I know that will turn into an hour or 2 on its own. You'll be hooked. So anyway, we are a little past an hour, so I don't want to keep you guys waiting. Did you guys find this useful? Did you guys like what we talked about?
Good stuff.
All right. Well, I'm glad. I think we lost Janelle, and who else? Kim. I think she probably had to do work. And who else came on? I dropped off earlier. Oh, Dene. Dene was. Do you know Dene, Miriam? I think she's. Oh well, no, she's not in Florida. She's North Carolina, I think, or South Carolina. I forgot. But she's on the East Coast too. She's great. Good person to know and collaborate. You guys will probably have some overlap, but well, I'll let you guys go. I'm going to schedule the next one. Hey, Kim. Yeah, she's.
Hi, sorry, I'm just listening and working at the same time.
Yeah, I figured. That's right. Yeah, so yeah, I'll be scheduling the next one in a day or so. I'm going to try to do them all Tuesdays afternoons, and then special ones, like if you guys want to do a TikTok one. Yes, anybody?
Yeah.
Okay. How's morning times for that? Are you guys available mornings? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know, John, you're pretty flexible. Miriam, I think you are too.
Yeah, I can move around time-wise.
All right.
Well,
Steven
not 10
too.
o'clock though, because that's my call time.
Right. Okay. I'll make sure I'll do it at like 9:45 then.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I would say the same time in the afternoon because my time is complicated. Like, depends on wherever I go or wherever I am. Like right now, I am in California. I don't know where everyone is, and sometimes I am in Miami. So it's like 3 hours difference, and like I try to be here again next time. And
Sure.
It's nice to meet everyone. It's
Nice
been
to
a
meet you,
pleasure.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna work on the YouTube channel. I'm gonna have to subscribe and learn everything from scratch.
Yeah. Well, you gotta figure it out one step at a time. Post your first video, learn from that. Check out that guy that I told you, Bald and Bankrupt.
Bald and Bankrupt, yeah. We're gonna check it out.
Pretty interesting videos too. You know, even if you don't care, I mean, even if you don't want to start a channel, it's a pretty good watch. So, all right, guys, thanks for joining.
All right, see you guys.
See you next time.
See you,
Thanks,
everyone.
Oscar.
Bye bye.
All right, bye.